Alright. It's been a minute, but I finally got my my build together. If you checked out my last videos, you guys know that I was working on survivability. I pretty much got that solved. How we solve the survivability, real quick take, is skill reduction, skill effect duration reduction. Here, the Titan can get more than anybody else, so that turns out that Ghost Dance can get a shard every 0.4 seconds, and I actually think this is bugged. I think it's actually lower than that, but I'm not 100%. Because if I like mess with it a little bit, it goes to like 0.37, but then goes back, and I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it may have something to do with it being level 23 from one of my jewels, but anyway, needless to say, something tries to hit me, I gain 1,000 energy shield. That's how I solve the survivability. Things don't hit me often because I have 88 evasion, got a little armor. I do have 72% block chance, so I added the shield, so I got a little bit more survivability, although that 72 is inflated because I am rocking the node that doubles block chance, but you take half the damage, which is really good synergy with healing energy shield when you get hit. So, but the actual reason for the shield is the shield specifically doubles your accuracy rating, and you can guess, doubling my accuracy rating with Falcon Dive, it's giving me a buttload of attack speed. So stacking dexterity, got 400 dex, stacking up the dexterity, gives him more accuracy, doubles the accuracy, gives him more attack speed, and so I'm just throwing some stuff out. Can kind of go zoomy. That's my basically mobility skill, or once I get my stacks up from this. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's mostly for huge amounts of attack speed, but also big time good accuracy rating, getting doubled, but stacks up to 500 maximum lightning damage, so the sheet DPS is way lower than what it ends up being when I'm in combat. So, you know, it's got Hammer of the Gods, because, I mean, gun damage, it gets way high when it's stacked up. This skill does move you, so it's kind of nice. You can just run around like this if you want. My mouse is actually shorting out on me. I've got one coming in tomorrow, so if I just stop attacking and die, well, I probably won't die, but if I just stop attacking mid-fight, that's why. If things get too close, because you're just smashing into them, if you don't have a wall for the ricochet to happen, you'll have trouble killing something right in front of you, so you can actually just drop a couple of these and blow them up on the face. Benefit of having shield wall. Tonight, I'm going to theory craft the idea of throwing the overpowered boots in this build that make it to where when you destroy something, the damage gets echoed. So I'm going to see how that interacts with this. I haven't figured it out yet, but that might be a good interaction. Let's see. This to jump over walls, obviously. Oh yeah, and if you haven't watched my previous videos, I don't know if you noticed how fast that came down. Click, it's there. Skill duration reduction helps with that. And then there is this really cool thing with Volcanic Fissure where it can prop itself, but this tanks my frame rate. But man, is it cool. As you can see, it's kind of dope with attack speed. But if your computer can handle this, that might be something to look at. If you have any questions about that, hit me up in the comments and I will build that out for you. But it's really cool with Bone Shatter, because you can go bam bam, Bone Shatter, bam, Bone Shatter, bam bam, and you just bring the frickin' Inferno with you. Really cool, but as you can see, it's just tanking my frames. No, that's the long and short of it. This is not a budget build anymore. It started off as a very budget build. The core of the items is just this. You can get both those for an Exalt. You can get both of them corrupted with double sockets for less than 10 Exalt, or when I got them you could. I don't know if anything's changed since then. I just bought up a bunch of 1 Exalt decent gear and slammed them until I made good ones. So I've got some double corruption. This corruption actually didn't add anything. I don't want to risk these because I don't have another one. A lot of my stuff is coming from these 2 items, which are not cheap at all. But I happened to craft some items that were worth a bunch of divine, and so I flipped into these. You can get a really low roll of this reasonably inexpensive nowadays, and you can get a really low roll of these now, not expensive. But if you want to go super budget, you can actually get gloves with like almost 600 accuracy on them. And if you pair that 600 accuracy with attack speed and max amount of dex, you can actually get pretty close to the attacks per second that these are giving me. You can get to the amount that a 3% would give you. So the difference between my old 3% and these gloves that I was messing with are really close. And then you can just, I'm using a lot to solve my resistances with this. If you just solve your resistances with a belt, you could definitely fix that. I'll just kind of pan over my items real quick so you can see what I'm doing. But a huge, an astronomical amount of my damage is coming from this allocated on my amulet, because this is a very, very inexpensive allocation. And then the other chunk of it's coming from this. So 73% in damage increase, 73% damage increase. And that's coming from this Megalomagic. I got this for, I think it was 250 Exalt, because Spiked Whip literally doesn't do anything in the game as it stands, because it's a flail move. So this was so cheap, and you just gotta play the market to get one. But if you have both of those, or conversely, I'm pathing this way, but my original build out of this actually pathed this way. And the reason for that is because you can utilize auras if you want, imposing presence, to get more crowd control, but you can also get a lot of energy shield from this spiral, and from this spiral, and especially if you want to be a Mind Over Matter build, which is very easy to do with this setup. And then you just come up this way and then go all the way to this. You do not have to play Chaos Inoculation. If you solve Chaos resistances and you can deal with the crazy Chaos damage in this game, you only have to go to there. You don't have to go to there. You could stop here. This is your main concern. I feel like I have to have Eternal Youth to heal my energy shield. It's just a quality of life thing, but it's not necessary. You can come down here, grab all this, grab this. You don't need to come down here. This is a really big damage increase, so I would assume you'd want to come down to at least there. The rest of this is kind of quality of life. It's extra damage, extra attributes. This is responsible for most of our armor, and then some nice, let's see, attack speed. I thought that I had, oh, there it is. Projectiles chaining off terrain. That plus the skill actually has it. Shay. This is a 6-link. This 6-link was excessively inexpensive. I think, oh my gosh, I don't know. I paid way less than a divine for it. Reason being is because it does not have quality, and it's corrupted. And the quality for this does fire exposure, but if you look at our damage, very little of it proportionately is fire. So the fire exposure, while good, having a 6-link, being able to run attack speed, scatter shot, I have to do that. So, well, I don't have to. You can actually sustain your mana with a good flask, but I just don't like doing it. This is actually all upside in my opinion, because reducing the area reduces the distance, and it makes this like hit a little bit closer to home, I believe. Maybe, I'm not 100% on that, but it does increase the damage excessively. So if you had to not do a 6-link, you could take out the spirit cost and just manage it with a cheap flask. If you had to get rid of something else, you could even get rid of martial tempo. Like, it is still really fast and can clear just fine without martial tempo, and that will help your mana too, but I would just recommend getting rid of that one. This is not 100% necessary, but it just feels good, because like for a boss or something, you can just get them by a wall and bounce the things off the wall. Anyway, enough of me talking. I'm gonna grab a sip of my coffee. And I'm gonna do this map. This is just a T15 map. It's just got some positive modifiers on it, but I don't think it has any negatives on it. Oh no, it does have negative chaos resistance, but since we're not caring about that, we're not caring about that. There's my mouse doing its dumb stuff. And right now I have pretty good stacks. So if I were to run into... Oh, well, I did run into an elite, but he just died, so... didn't get to use Hammer of the Gods. There's my mouse doing its thing again. But as you can see, you can also just go fast if you want. Drop the hammer for funsies. I'm not sure if something's running in the background or something. My game's feeling kind of choppy right now, and I don't know how that's going to translate in the video. I hope it's not too bad. But if you want to off-meta build, that's fun. I just like the fantasy of having a shield. Sword board has always been one of my favorite things. I can't actually wait until it's actually a sword. Because I didn't have all my stacks up, so it didn't just one-shot him. I don't believe I did. Maybe he was just tanky. Damn. This is where you can slam down your shield wall and blow some stuff up. After I complete this, I'm gonna just go stand in a mob to kind of show the survivability. I might die. I don't actually know how the survivability is at the moment. I know that it was pretty killer. Oh, I don't know if you're noticing the Herald of Thunder, and I'm not running the Herald of Ice Thunder combo because I just don't want to stack any. I don't want to stack any extra spirit that I don't need. Looking for a bow for my friend. But you could totally run that combo, and I'm sure it's so overpowered. I'm sure it would be great with this. One of the things to keep in mind, though, that this actually, the damage, the 500 extra damage, actually stacks on top of your Herald of Thunder, and that makes for a potent little pop all by itself. So I don't think it's necessary to bend over backwards for something gear-wise that's not necessary. And this build is about quality of life for me. I'm loving it. It feels like the playstyle of my Whirlwind Barbarian that I can't wait to get back to. Where's the other boy at? I do have to preference this build will be much better in the future when they fix a bug that is heavily nerfing it. Where the heck do I get down there? So the bug that's nerfing this is that when you have Ghost Shroud, you can't weapon swap. If you weapon swap, you lose the stacks and they won't come back. It is a tragedy because I had originally developed a tech where I would just very quickly switch to another weapon and use Blink when I get hung up on things, and it just made this feel so good. So good. And not having that is a real bummer, and I'm not happy about it, and I'm really hoping they'd fix it. So if you're watching this, please go and report that there is a bug with weapon swapping and Ghost Shroud. I'm just gonna risk my life here. So you could say I'm pretty tanky. These guys will eventually just kill themselves on me. And I'm not actually clicking my potion, I'm actually healing from them trying to kill me. So this is what I was talking about with, aw, poor guy. So you can actually get pretty overwhelmed in this build, and it don't even matter. Something that I was doing that was really fun, if you're interested, is I don't remember what the skill's called. It's the ice barrier. If you put the ice barrier on and then put on that Brotherhood ring that changes all your cold damage to lightning, and then that ice barrier scales with levels, so then you go and get a 3-level gem for dirt cheap. I say gem every time, jewel. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's, let's see, where is it? This guy. And instead of ghost dance, you get the ice shield, and it skyrockets damage, and then that damage, and you can dual wield this. I don't know if you knew that or not. I didn't for a long time. You can dual wield uniques, so then you can stack an extra 1,000 damage on top of the ice shield, and you can literally just walk around and things will murder themselves trying to hurt you. It is very, very cool. So that was something I was messing with, and it was quite fun. Quite fun. Yeah, this was a display of what this could kind of do. This wasn't an extreme map. Oh, I gotta go do my reach. And this is one of the cool things. This is so fast. A little bit of mana, but where is he? What do we got here? I have literally never seen this. Affected by curses, that doesn't matter. immune to fire damage. Jeez. I do a little fire damage. I might not get that. I guess I could just get both of them. Oh, I want to call it. So
you better watch out now. I figured something out. What this whole life's about. Yeah. It's not the goal, it's the journey. Wasted emotion is worry.
I'm also not good at these, by the way.
I'll just enjoy what I'm doing. Keep pushing forward and moving. Appreciate the improvement. Yeah.
Can I do this? I don't actually remember. Oh, let's go this way first. Then increase back size. As you can see, I'm really bad at this, so there's that. Oops. I think my frames. Oh, I'm frozen. F. Oh, ow, what the heck was that? As you can see, I can still die. I'm pretty sure it was, I don't know for sure, but one thing I do know that I'm super weak against is Ignite. I had Ignite reduction on my boots, and I had to come out of it to just solve my resistances. But if you are running this where you're immune to chaos damage and you're healing from hits, Ignite is not a hit, so it can just shred you. So it is worth note that, check that dual strings. It is worth note that you do have to be careful with that. Well, I hope that showed you kind of what the build can do. I don't want to make this video too long. Trying to think of anything else that I needed to talk about. This jewel, I got a good deal on it because it's negative chaos resistant, but you can get these decently priced. It's not even necessary. I was running without it for a long time, but it did, taking out a bunch of weights just to spread them out into better nodes, which is just really nice. My jewels, I'm running some, this is actually one of my corner case jewels that I had before when I was trying to run Imposing Presence, but this is kind of what my jewels do. energy shield, mana regeneration, elemental damage, and then something with ailments. You know, typically is what I'm trying to rock. Freeze threshold, but the other ones are the same. Like I said before, I was messing with increased effective aura skills. That actually bolsters things that aren't classified as aura, like imposing presence, so that you can really put some ailments on things. I actually do need to change those jewels now that I'm thinking about it. That's the build, pretty much. If you can sacrifice survivability for whatever reason with your gear, you could definitely go up here and get a bunch more damage out of there. Another really cool thing that I was doing before I switched to Ingenuity was taking the belt that allowed you to leech energy shields and rolling physical damage and attack speed on gloves, on rings, and with Falcon Dive you can put a giant amount of accuracy on your gloves, on your rings. You can even get the rings that have the innate accuracy and flat physical damage. And when you have all those, you can just do attack modifiers and just skyrocket them. And then when you have all that physical damage, the leech from it can sustain your energy shield. The original way I was doing it was with this when I was going around this way, like I told you earlier, pathing up to get Zealot's Oath, and then just grabbing that node straight out, because isolation is a terribly expensive allocation. If you could grab that and come around and then just do a similar build here, but a physical based one. If you do the physical based one, it might be worth even just going fully into Bone Shatter. For one, the mobility's sick, and if they ever fix the thing when you get hung up on something, you can just blink, and it's wonderful. That's a super fun thing. A really good idea that I had with this was my previous one, where Bone Shatter actually gets a big old AoE if you heavy stunt the shockwave that hits like an absolute truck. And this is a level 15, so this isn't a good thing of what it does. But if you do imposing presence with a bunch of aura resistance or aura extension, and then can just stun things, they just pop and blow up everything around them. That's kind of cool. And it's a really, like, I don't know, fun play style, because you're like essentially keeping yourself alive by doing damage. It's really fun to play. And if you don't want to mess with this, then you don't want to spend it on these, that's a way to go. Yeah, really fun build. I'm hoping they fix the frame rate tank of this stuff. So the tech there is that if you support this with tremors and with aftershock, and actually that just reminded me that my tree has the wrong things in it, because I went into this for that, but actually I would rather have, for this build, I'm not using slam skills. So increase stun build up, pushing hits, but you're really just coming for this. If you don't care about that, the armor's good. If you're not Chaos Inoculation, the life is amazing. If you're actually running of body armor, this is great. These two nodes actually are really cool if you are running what I was previously running. Everybody knows about, I can't remember what the heck it's called, Morir Invictus, because you actually have a giant chunk of armor on that, so that makes that a little better. And then also that if you're going to go with the belt route, you're going this way, you're actually getting increased energy shield and armor from body armor, so that is crazy. And then you could forego this and this and run the higher risk version where increases and reductions to armor apply to your energy shield, which are great. That would be an interesting thing that I am not ever going to explore because I do not like the insecurity of not being able to potion. So, something, you know, you're having to stack strength for some things. Primarily, you're stacking strength to be able to use Molten Blast, which I got this 6 link and it was already level 19. If you didn't have a level 19 one, the strength requirement would be substantially lower. 191, you can do a low level one of this, and then you can just sacrifice the strength for other stats. You don't actually need much strength to wield this. 148, that's actually more than I thought it was. And then this, and with, if you're at that, something else that's really fun that I was messing with before that is one of my favorite items in the game, and I just can't fit it into this build because of how much energy shield I'm getting with this. It is responsible for almost all my energy shield. But favorite freaking items, if I can find it. You can also do this thing if you're stacking strength, and it gives you a butt load of energy shield. Well, okay, seem to have misplaced the thing that I wanted to show you, but it's the helmet that allows you to use multiple of the same support gems, and holy moly does that stack hard with this build, because you can wear 2 of the accuracy increased support gems, and that just goes real hard. Did I put it to sell it? Because I don't want to sell that helmet. It's right in front of my face, and I'm missing it. There it is. But it makes your equipment and skill gems have 25% increased attribute requirement. So if you are going like the route where you're not using this here and maybe using this somewhere else, up here to get some stuff, or wherever the heck you might be here if you're doing, I don't know. But anyway, the point is that you can grab these nodes that reduce your attribute requirements, and since you're a Titan, they're 6%. And then you can put a gem in here that boosts small passives, and the rounding on that is really, really good for you. So you can end up getting a really high reduction there of attribute requirements. You can rock that helmet, and then you're like a pseudo Gemling Legionnaire, but able to stack enough of the skill reduction to just be virtually unkillable. So yeah, those are all the ideas that are bouncing around in my skull and what I've got so far. If you have any questions, message me. If you took the time to watch this, give a like, give a comment, anything helps. I'm just starting this. I literally haven't even shared this with any of my friends. This is kind of a for me project at the moment. I've shared it with a couple of my close friends, but like not my Facebook or anything. Once I have some stuff on here worth showing, like this build for instance, I'm going to start making that public. So anyway, every little bit helps. Say hi. If you have anything that, any advice or anything, I'm new to this game. We're all new to this game. Send it my way. That being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.